Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Tyranny, blind. Now, there's one thing that I didn't quite think through when I betrayed Kairos for the Oathbreakers, and that is the edict, right? The exact wording of the edict, because it says that if the Ascension Hall is not controlled by someone loyal to Kairos, we are all going to die. So, like, how exactly am I supposed to circumvent that? Like, it would require some pretty master level mental gymnastics, where I assume I would have to go like, I joined the rebels, but I'm still loyal to Kairos in some roundabout way, and therefore the rules of the edict are satisfied, and we're not going to die. Like, you know, obviously, based on my, based on my knowledge of how narratives are built in stories and in games specifically, if there is a rebel path, obviously there must exist a way to survive it, because otherwise it would be a pretty short game. But I'm just interested in seeing how exactly is it going to work. Anyway, let me get out of here.
Better, faster, and stronger.
Striding into the camp at the tail end of a sprint, the Scarlet Chorus warriors begin to speak, but he stumbles forward, bracing himself short of collapse as he catches his breath. More on the way, his words roll out between the labored breaths. Patrol from the morning coming back. Wait, fucking where are the Oathbreakers? His eyes widen as he looks at the camps and the lack of signs of struggle. Where's the captain? Where in the name of Kairos is he? The fifth eye was adamant. The warrior marches up close. The pungent smell of henna and tooth decay assaults your senses. Now, I can't see it not ending in a fight, unless he would believe my lie. But that was a point-blank, direct act of betrayal. I very much feel like I've thrown my lot in with the Vendrien Guard anyway, so I might as well attack him, grab his wrist, force his blade into him. Just what are you? Taking swift control of his weapon hand, you guide your sword upwards, cupping his elbow to help him drive the blade up through his jaw and into his brain. I'll just not include that part in my notes.
More tallies to the body count. Will do.
No leaving till you're dead.
Will do.
Fall before me.
Take that. See that? I'm not entirely useless.
Okay. But I wonder, how am I supposed to get out of this with the others? Like, are they going to just take me at my word when I bullshit them? Like, it seems pretty implausible to me that I would be able to lie like that. After a kill, Verse will strike twice as fast with her attacks. Seems pretty cool. Sure, I can go with that. And I have a point as well. I'll put a point into Resolve for magic defense. Yeah, it improves my lore as well. Which, or does it? Like, I guess it doesn't directly. Though, you know what, I'll just go straight up for spell strength. When attacking from stealth, weaken your enemy for a tough short duration, increases damage with magic staffs, and allows basic attacks to strike multiple times. Okay, seems pretty cool. And passive skills, as I said, are pretty interesting to me because they don't require my micro, which I'm not very good at, so, you know. Okay, I've been here, so I'll go to here, to the remote settlement, which is where the Scarlet Chorus wanted me to go. This village is far from any major settlements in the valley and has not involved itself in the conflict thus far. It might be possible to recruit some of the residents and add to the Scarlet Chorus's ranks. Well, I'm more like going to try to save them from the Scarlet Chorus, if possible. Convince the settlers to join. Well, is there an alternative? I'm definitely going to, because at this point I might as well just attack the chorus. Like, clearly, it seems to me my betrayal is not going to remain secret for very long. So, you know. Bronze Great Axe, two-handed. As you step into the center of the village, you feel as you're being watched from all angles. The distant patter of feet echo off the walls of the small and seemingly deserted village. No need to hide. I have no desire to fight, merely to talk. The wooden beams on the rooftops to the north creak under someone's weight. A tree rustles behind you. Okay, so there's no, at least as of yet, there does not seem to exist an option where I just, you know, advise them to run and hide before the chorus shows up. So I guess given a choice between burning the place and offering a chance to join, the latter is maybe better, although like the chorus seems to have this tradition, they have a name for it but I forgot it, where they order their new recruits to murder their own families to like prove their loyalty. But obviously, you know, if the alternative is death, it's a choice between sort of hell and damnation. Like it's you know, potato kind of thing, where you know, if they don't want to do that, and I would understand why they wouldn't, no sane person would, they can still choose death. And, you know, the thing is, if at least some of them survive and get into the chorus, they might flee later. That seems to be happening quite a lot from what the Disfavored have been telling me. I've come to offer you redemption with the Scarlet Chorus. I'm doing my best to try and save you all. Feel free to help me with this endeavor. A voice bellows from the rooftops with a cackle. Go home to your Overlord. Well, that was a trap. For me. Sorry, friend, but you won't be living here in one piece. We'll send your head back north. I want your folks to see what happens to those who invade our lands. Well, I'm sorry for you, because now you forced me to kill you. Like, there's literally no way this is going to end that well for you.
I am a shield wall to my kin.
Feels like my bowels are on fire. Not a problem, boss. I'm on it. Not happy. I better not wake
damn
up
it.
dead.
Oh well. You know, the thing is, I have so much time that I might as well rest after every fight,
Take that!
and it's unlikely to make a difference. Flicking the bronze tip of her blade, the Scarlet Fury strolls into the view with a smug smile, flanked by an entourage of soldiers. Not bad. I would have piled up the same number of corpses in half the sword strokes, but well, where are my manners? One ought to not criticize help so generously given. She sweeps her arms in a wide, exaggerated mocking bow. You have my deepest and sincerest gratitude for gutting those Vendrien peasants in my place. How can you be so damn pleased? These people are dead. That's several conscripts that want to be joining the chorus. Slaughter wasn't my intention. Yeah, I didn't want them to join the chorus, but neither did I want them to die. How can you be so damn pleased? I guess I'm going to choose that. We already got what we needed. The willing ones. She points out to several of the armed fighters at her side. We were hoping a different face might convince the remainder to join us, but alas. Well, can't win them all, can you? So you put me in harm's way under a false pretense. I could have your head for this. At this point, I might as well go full animosity, because it's going to be pretty short, I believe. You know, a pretty short time until I sort of directly come to blows with them. I've betrayed the Overlord, they just don't know it yet. So you put me in harm's way under false pretenses. I could have your head for this. Stow your blaster and take it up with Death Knell, because I'm quite certain that's who talked you into this. She flicks her blade at you in dismissal, a gesture that simultaneously manages to appear obscene. Okay. Well, now that they are dead, I might loot them. You know, they don't exactly need their possessions in the afterlife.
Right.
And I think I'm going to have to do some inventory management while at one of those camps. You know, do some selling and whatnot.
Sorry, I can't.
Because I have a lot of
Can't
crap.
do that. Can't do that.
Okay, let's start with the Disfavored camp, because I have to talk with Sevus. You're following the road through an expanse of shrubby woodlands, crooked oaks and dried needle pines grasping towards the sky, when you catch a sound of children's laughter filtering through trees. Investigated. Abandoning the road, You make your way to a small tributary of the Matani, snaking through the sparse forest. There you discover a group of 4 youths gathered beside the small stream. 2 of the children sit on the rocks, poles in hand, staring patiently at the water. The other 2 are seated near a bucket, taking turns whacking eels along the ground to stun them and carving up eel meat. I don't want to threaten children. What are you talking about? Let's talk to them. You step out of the woods, drawing attention of the children, who eye you warily. The eldest youth, almost a man grown, notes your heraldry and hawks a bowl of phlegm into the reeds. Okay, he spat at me. Wait, what do you mean ransom the children? Are the others captives of this one? Like, it doesn't look like it from the description. They don't look like prisoners. Let's tell a story. I would assume I'm pretty good at that. You raise your hands to calm the youngsters and ask if they heard the tale of Pox and the elder boar of the Barnian Wood. When they look at one another without an answer, you begin to spin a story for them, an odd and sometimes amusing yarn filled with an epic adventure and dark mysticism. By the time you're finished, the youth have become entirely absorbed in your story, utterly wrapped in their attention. The youngest of the children bring you an eel in exchange for your time. You thank them and continue on the road with your journey. Okay, it gave me a bonus with Vendrien Guard. I'll take that because that seems to be the road I'm going down. So, you know.
I got it.
Okay, so you. With all due respect, our cohorts have proven themselves against those apex fools time and again. What can your Earthshakers do other than get in the way? I don't want to be here, Sevus, and my orders don't involve proving our value to you. If the Great General doesn't want magic on his side, then he can order us to stand down and sit this one out. I don't question what your mages bring to the table, Housebar, but I have my reservations about your leaders. Why shouldn't Radix show up to the siege himself? If he has more pressing matters than the state of the conquest, I would like to hear it from his own mouth. If Radix is not inclined to help, perhaps the next of kin might take his place. I hate to upset the chain of command during a time of war, but perhaps Radix's brother can convince him to remember his duty. Fatebinder, I thank you for the part you have played. You didn't have to risk yourself, but you did it all the same. Anything to add? Welcome back, Fatebinder. Sevus leans back and crosses his arms. Okay, nothing to add. What about you? Oh, I can't even talk to you. What about you? Can't talk to you either. Okay, so I'll just rest in here for Verse to heal herself. Although, how long does this last? Until next rest. 30 endurance, defense, potion effectiveness. You know what? That's a pretty good buff. I might keep it until more of my guys become wounded. Okay, I think I need to do some inventory management though. Emerald Pin, regenerating, plus 1% health every 6 seconds. Okay, this is pretty great. I'm going to equip this. Okay, Barrick cannot change his armor. Fused iron helmet is sealed to Barrick and cannot be unequipped. So the comparison between his armor and what I have here is largely pointless. And Verse wears light armor. Okay, those are actually better. So let's switch those. That's a 200 weapon. I think I'm going to keep that. Do I have anything that's one-handed? I do, but her swords seem to be better. Okay, 8 to 10, 8 to 11. This is quicker though. I might switch this. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to sell most of it. Plus 10 to parry. That would be good for her. She fights in melee. And she's pretty squishy. Okay, let's sell the rest of the stuff to him. Do you sell anything that I would like? Sigil of Frost. I have that already, right? I do want the camping supplies. Okay, I'm keeping this. Keep the consumables. This pungent-smelling swath of linen is the red moss poultice, a traditional green-worn herbal remedy for smoke inhalation and foul air. Unfortunately, this poultice is torn and cannot be used. Okay, so this is just trash. Okay, so how many? Okay, I have 8 of those. 8 out of 8. I can't have any more. Okay, let's go to the Scarlet Chorus.
Will do.
A Fatebinder? Deathknell nods in your direction. And now what do you need? I think I am going to punch her, because, first of all, now it seems like, you know, that's the direction I'm heading. Like, if they all turn on me, then what? Like, they are going to do it eventually anyway. And second, she might very well respect that. Oh, she didn't. In one swift stride, you close the distance between the two of you and land a punch squarely in her stomach. The force of it knocks her back a pace, causing her to take a knee. She lets out a few coughs before regaining her composure and standing back up. You've got some explaining to do, Fury. I don't appreciate being used. The Fury can't contain her glee and begins to laugh, but quickly winces at the pain it immediately causes. Oh, come now. I know a fighter like you could hold your own against those Oathbreakers. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you. She winces again as she slowly unsheaths her sword and hands it to you. Clearly I ruffled a few feathers. Take this as a sign of no harm done, okay? Anything to add? No. Is this a good sword? One-handed. What do you think about it, Verse? It's not great.
Will do.
Do you have anything that's useful for me to buy? Oh, Sirin! She wasn't here before. That's very interesting. First, let me do this. Sigil of Vigor. I have that one already. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, and are those Beastmen? Like, those definitely aren't humans. So, claws at throat. Nighty Owl. Okay, quite a few new faces here. So, Disfavored guy, have anything new to say? Fatebinder? Okay, nothing new to say from you. You seem to be a new guy, however. Pale and wide-eyed, the Scarlet Chorus conscript take a slow, deep breath as he shuffles with nervous energy. As soon as your eyes meet his, he looks away in panic, bowing his head and turning his body aside. Something wrong? He opens his mind in an attempt to speak but falls short. Glancing in either direction, he steps close and lowers his voice. Captain, I'm not supposed to be here. His voice comes out as harsh, rugged whisper. Captain is a southern term. Well, I am very eager to help, so what's your name? First, let's get acquaintance a little bit. I'm Walden. I mean, I was. No, I mean, I am. His face flashes hotly as he stares at his feet as he answers. My ma named me Walden because she knew I would be tall as the mountains, but here they only called me Vittles. I don't know what that means. Is that an English word? Because if it is, then the wordplay is lost on me because I don't know what it means. Do I even want to know you? Why they to know why they call you that? His face burns hotter as he grits his teeth together before answering. Cause Two-Tooth says he'll feed me to the beasts if I don't always do what he wants. You look a little out of place. I shouldn't be here. His eyes widen as his voice raises to a near yell. The chorus. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not like those people. He looks out at camp. I'm going to die here. Or at least I hope I die here and soon. And to think his voice falls silent, his body slumps. Yeah, like, to be honest, I think he can flee if he arranges it correctly. You know, whenever he's on patrol, he can just make a run for it. I'm feeling generous today, so I'll give you a few pointers. Pointers, Captain? He scratches the back of his head. Of what sort? Yeah, this is probably the best advice. Tell him some advice. Listen up, you need to act tough, yet keep a low profile. For starters... I would have never thought it. He straightens his back, head craned, as he gives his full enraptured attention. You're awfully clever, Captain, he murmurs, deep in thought. Okay, I can teach him some self-defense as well. It's, you know, that might very well be useful, even against other Scarlet Chorus members, because they fight each other all the time. Strike him, playfully at first. Come on, raise your fists and defend yourself. I'll show you how to survive, and maybe later how to kill. He takes the first hit, but manages to avoid the next, surprisingly deft despite his gangliness and timidity. Besides, if I don't, Master Fatebinder, he ducks his head shyly. I don't think Two-Tooth would like it none if he saw me training. No, best if I don't. Best if I don't what? Learn how to kill? I don't think Two-Tooth would like it none if he saw me training, and I've taken down enough licks from him to last me the rest of my lifetime. Strike him harder. Do not let your guard down. Strike back and watch your legwork. With a scramble and a surprised yelp, he barely dodges the third of your blows, the first two knocking him backward on his feet. Panting, he regains himself, avoiding your exaggerated and slowed strikes until he swells enough confidence to punch back. It takes him a while, but eventually he lands a decently hard hit. Strike him harder still. Again. He cringes. Oh, gain favor with Blend and Mark? I hardly even know who that is. He cringes, tensing retroactively from the force of the strike, but he does better against the next one and the next, eventually avoiding most and managing to return a fist or boot in the few times you allow him for an opening. He throws himself into the training, courage improving, until he's left panting and exhausted and newly bruised, his thin woolen shirt drenched to his back in sweat. Eventually he wipes the matted bangs from his eyes and offers you a grateful grin. I won't forget my training, Master Fatebinder. I'll keep fighting and struggling and I'll get stronger until there is nobody who can push me around. With a final nod, he totters swiftly away. I've got work to do. Well, that's the captain that he was afraid of, Two-Tooth. The gang boss offers you an agreeable nod as he resumes his game of dice. Well, let's try talking to the Beastmen. That's pretty interesting. I guess they are allied with us? Like, they don't seem to be prisoners. This one even has a weapon, like a stick or a staff. The hulking creature sizes you up as you approach. He doesn't appear impressed. A young beastman stands in the shadow of an enormous beastwoman whose stature still manages to loom over you. Even in her crouched position, the beastman's mouth froths with spittle that launches in every direction as he snarls at her. Night Owl was promised worthy, tough prey for joining, but Beastwoman only allows Night Owl to hunt weakest of humans, saves the best kills for self. He pounds the earth, causing a small fissure to erupt. Night Owl was second stronger of the Stonestalker's males before joining the Scarlet Humans, rotted even with the 100 blood, with the tribe's Prima, was promised own pack for abandoning tribesmates. Well, that's quite a story. We've got okay, it's possible my mouse is broken. shouldn't be doing the scrolling on its own. Wait, what? It already did work. Stonestalker, the largest spanning beast tribe in the entirety of the tiers, the Stonestalkers of Azure nearly tripled in population during a period of domestication and forced labor in service to the farmers and ranchers of the realm. However, like all beasts, the Stonestalkers were born wild and yearned to range free, unfettered by humans within their own homeland. In ancient times, the tribe was known as the Meadowkins, but they were denied a name during the centuries of enslavement. In the turmoil created by Kairos' invasion of the Tiers and the conquest of Azure, the beasts rebelled and won their freedom. Drawn to the enigmatic presence of Cairn, Archon of Stone, the beasts took the name Stonestalker as their own. After Cairn's defeat when Kairos proclaimed the Edict of Stone, creating the Stone Sea, the Stonestalkers retreated into the wild. The humans who have since encroached on their territory have been slaughtered. A Prima is the leader of a beast tribe, a supremacy almost always held by a female. This rank is won and defended through vicious bloodshed and fights for dominance rather than birthright. Many alphas may exist within a single tribe, but only one can rise above the others as Prima. The crouched beast woman lets out a deafening cackle, her broad, sharp teeth showing between each bellow. Strong Stonestalker, beastman worth ratting? She snorts. No. Claws at throat, sees only mewling first season cub before beastwoman now. Sees only tenderfoot, only weak whelp fit to chase the injured, dying prey, and not best fighters on the battlefield. The night owl bares his teeth and lunges for the beastwoman, but she is swift to stand, hackles raised, and calloused palm far larger than his head, harshly pins him to the ground in one deft swipe. His face smashes into the earth with a whip-like crack of stone, followed by a defeated whimper. Claws at throat, stares down at you with as much regard as she might show wild dogs that roam the camp. Human? She sniffs in your direction, and her nose wrinkles as she scowls, disgusted by your foul scent. Humans, always are encroaching on beastwoman, have no sense of danger, no recognition for prowling, hungry predators, are worse than sniveling beastmen. She grinds the beastman's face deeper into the dirt before lifting her clawed and gnarled fingers off of him. He quickly scrambles to his feet to nurse his head. Speak quickly, and maybe the beastwoman will listen. I wager I could take you. I don't think so. I don't think so. But then again, this is a game, and you know, if she kills me, literally, then obviously the game is over and I will just reload. And I assume the skill check is there for something. Like, I assume if I had low enough athletics, maybe it wouldn't appear, although it may be bait. You know, that would make sense if it was bait, because 23 athletics doesn't strike me as a very high number. Bury your teeth in a wild, dangerous grin. Don't worry, I know how to properly respect a beast. Allow me to gift you an offering of blood and bone. Am I going to, like, cut myself and bleed for her? Like, I will choose this because it seems like an option of a character who knows what he's doing, so let's give him a chance. The beast woman perks up at your enticing words. She sniffs you curiously, more thoroughly than before, and she smacks her lips softly, longingly, beginning to slaughter and drool. For a moment, you think she'll make a grab for you, but she merely sits back on her haunches, relaxed and watching you, pleasantly piqued as she scratches her as she scratches the taut stretch of her hard muscled stomach. Yes, the beast woman likes gifts of blood and bone, of fresh kills, but Closed Throat does not want such treats now. Instead, a little blunt claw will join Beastwoman in hot slaughter of humans. In one season soon, she spreads her massive maws in a deadly grin. What tribe are you from, Beast? She puffs her dirty, hairy teats and purrs with pride. Closed Throat was born of tribe with no name and no land, called Summer Snout by the Tearsmen who stole azure lands from the tribe's ancestors. Then Closed Throat became the great Stone Stalker, slaughtered own slavers and fought the tribe's freedom. Tribe who became strong, unbreakable as stone because of Earth Mystic called Archon Cairn. She sniffs at the memory, but now Cairn sleeps and dreams, drifting slowly into death in Stonelands. 100 Blood protects Free Tribe, and Closed Throat fights to kill more Tearsmen, a Scarlet Stalker. How did you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? A human pack called Scarlet Chorus is vicious, cunning, feral, like tribes, like Beastwoman. She snarls, but the sound is pleased and rumbling, nearly a purr as she cranes her head in the direction of the voices of Nerad's Wartend. Chorus humans are dirty and reek like rotten meat, so easily shriek and tear at own throats, but also respect the strongest of the pack, and Beastwomen are strongest of all creatures, are best predators, like the Archon called Nerad, pack's fierce and ruthless alpha, is mystic who can swallow prey. Blood and Bones whole makes Beastwoman want to rat fight kill. Interesting that mating is sort of... It seems like a single action, mating, fighting, and killing, sort of all at once, which, is a bit of a wild image, if you ask me. Makes Beastwoman want to rat fight kill, she sighs hungrily. What's going on here? Human has keen eyes, yes? Can see Beastwoman is disciplining insolent packmate. She snaps a menacing sneer at the cowed Beastman, mewling, whimpering male. Nighty Owl will learn Beastman's rank in new pack, or will not survive for many seasons longer. A soft growl burbles from the back of his throat in response to her threat, but he keeps his eyes downcast, refusing to meet her gaze. I am not going to choose this. This seems like bait. Farewell for now. Although, this is all pretty interesting because, first of all, I can't fail to notice that it seems the Beastmen are matriarchal as well. Which is interesting to me because so are the Tearsmen. And I wonder if they have been influenced by each other somehow. That's just some, food for thought. And another thing, it introduces some nice bit of moral ambiguity, because it turns out the Tearsmen, despite their adamant claims of, we don't kill prisoners, and actually the Kairos is like far worse than all of the wars that we've had, they practiced slavery as well. They've enslaved the Beastmen. The Beastmen are not human, but they are clearly sentient. They are intelligent enough to be able to hold a meaningful conversation with a person, which to me, with a human I mean, which to me is a reason enough to treat them as people. Like, they don't deserve to be enslaved because they are not animals. They are sentient creatures of a different species. So, that was interesting. Let's talk to Sirin. Sirin is actually an Archon, which, you know, is interesting that now there's, I assume, 2 Archons in this tent? In this camp? A young woman stands, flanked by a pair of soldiers. The ornate headdress cresting her brow lends her otherwise small figure an intimidating aspect. From gear to gown, everything about her starkly contrasts the wretched state of the camp. She looks both at ease and uncomfortable, composed in her element and completely unsure. She turns to you.
Greetings, worm.
Her voice takes you off guard. It is bare of any inflection, and yet full of beautiful music. If you didn't know any better, you would guess that she is actively suppressing or modulating her vocal tone. Have we met? Sirin is the Archon of Song, and the youngest Archon sent to conquer the Tears. Young and inexperienced, she is sworn to Voices of Nerat, who uses her power of charm and manipulation to swell the ranks of the Scarlet Chorus with volunteers. You look familiar. Have we met?
You don't know me, little worm? I am Sirin, and my degenerate allies have the pleasure of calling me the Archon of Song.
You hear the distant peal of a bell in her laugh. She regards you for a moment with dim interest.
And you are Tunon's Fatebinder. What brings you here to the middle of the battlefield? Did Cairo send you to shame Ash and Nerat into action?
Ash certainly needs someone to dig a heel into his back, if only to distract him from his problem.
She purses her lips in thought.
But Nerat, he's just a cat playing with a realm-sized mouse, isn't he?
What problem does Asha have?
You haven't heard? Now I find that fascinating. A representative of Cairo sent to deal with the Archons, and you weren't told the whole story. How scandalous. The Disfavored are very close with one another. If one is lost, it's practically like losing a family member. Can you imagine how Ash feels after losing a handful of his men?
She trails off and stands in thought for a few moments.
Anyway, we have a more important matter to deal with. There is something you can do to assist me.
From the corner of your eye, you see Verse cup her hands to her ears, turning her head away from Sirin. Sirin's mouth opens in perfect O shape, and the sound that pours out is captivating and entrancing. It dampens the ambient bustle of the camp until it seems that nothing exists but her voice.
Remove my helmet.
What are you trying to do to me? Well, clearly it's mind control.
Really? That's it? How disappointing. It was worth a try, I suppose, though it appears to have been a colossal waste of effort.
She sighs and gives a sheepish smile.
I hoped you would assist me in a delicate matter, but it appears you're more nuisance than help. I have no further use for you. Perhaps later. You're dismissed, Fatebinder.
She brushes you away with a wave. I'm not sure if it's wise to speak to her in a commanding tone. I would prefer if this was phrased more as me asking, but you will answer some questions for me first.
I said dismissed until I have further need of you. Your presence displeases me.
This time her voice takes on a different quality. It screeches like a piece of flint stuck in a grinding wheel. You can feel it down to your toes, and you want nothing more than to make a hasty exit before the Archon inflicts more of her terrifying song.
For the love of Kairos! That was the Archon of Song in the flesh!
Keep walking, best not to offend her. Darting his head for a furtive look, Lantry sighs in awe.
Quite right. Now's not the time to trouble her with 1,000 questions. Another time, perhaps.
No, she was trying to get me to remove her helmet, so I assume her helmet is actually somehow a hindrance to her. Because otherwise, you know, why would she have a problem with it? And maybe it's something, like maybe the helmet itself is also a mind-controlling device, but for her. Because that seems to be a theme. I'm not sure. The game has been rather tight-lipped on how Kairos' empire started, but from what the map showed me at the beginning, it was originally pretty small, and then it conquered the entire world. So most, Ashe was once an enemy of Kairos that was forced into submission, and maybe so was she. Let's talk to the Fifth Eye. The Fifth Eye, commander of the local Scarlet Chorus, surveys his camp. Watching in stillness as all manner of violence and revelry occur around, he offers a slight nod at your approach. Wait. But didn't you want to report on this? You've allowed Florian and the others to escape, helping the rebels in the process. Okay, so I guess...
Right.
I just have to go to Echocall Crossing then. I'm literally done here. Okay, let's go. Echocall Crossing is a village situated along the one of the narrow sections of the Matani River. It is the main route into the heart of the valley and possesses two highly defensible bridges. Many settlers in the area are believed to be directly assisting the rebel effort. Did you hear that? The battle has already begun. Keep watch, the enemy may strike at any moment. Okay, that's... I think Antio is the commander. I vaguely remember his name.
Can't do that.
There are some wounded here. Maybe I can help. Although again, that be damned Tidecaster drowned half of our men. Good northerners who now line the river's bottom. Would that be Ebb? The Oathbreakers are well prepared. Had we not bickered over strategy, we would have crushed them by now. Now, again, me helping at this point is actually hindering my own chances.
Right.
Seeing how I've thrown my lot in with the rebels, but, we have scouts hiding on the far bank. I can just barely see them. Clearly I surrender. No need for further bloodshed. The Vendrien Guard will triumph. I don't regret what I've done. A village full of traitors. If it were up to me, I would gut them all.
Can't do that.
I'm wounded, but that never stopped me before. Just let me catch my breath. Back over here, maintain defensive posture. Winded, the disfavored commander clutches his blood-stained chest piece as he takes a deep breath, gathering his thoughts. His focus is on the scattered wounded men around him. He has yet to notice you. Your plan has been a rousing success. Most of our troops dead, a bridge destroyed, and the Vendrien Guard push us back to where we started. Ladies and gentlemen, the finest of the North has to offer. And for your next act? I need those furies on point. Don't mock my strategy after working against it. We could have taken them. Well, actually, let's listen to their argument for a bit. You wasted dozens of lives walking us into a trap. I'll mock your idiocy as much as I want, as long as it continues to amuse me. What's happening? Shouldn't you be on the other side of the bridge? We tried to rush the western bridge. Blow for blow, we had them running, but his gaze drops, a long sigh escapes. But halfway across, the whole damn river just... The blood chanter gesticulates, flailing for words. Lurched up, the cursed Matani swallowed the bridge, and almost everyone on it. Only real soldiers we have left are the Scarlet Furies, and I, quite wisely, directed them into flanking position. A few of us kept footing, but the advantage was lost. We had to fall back. As soon as we did, the Oathbreakers surged down the east bridge. We held ground until they fled back across the river, but now we're back where we started, with only a fraction of the strength. To be honest, a direct attack was a dumb idea, because a bridge is an excellent choke point, especially given that, you know, based on the lessons from the conquest of the tiers, we knew that they have water mages. Like, that's a perfect situation for them. Even without magic, a bridge is a perfect choke point, but with magic, and water magic at that, a bridge is basically a death trap. A direct attack was a dumb idea. Bitter Quip was wise to hold reserve. And this is how the conquest ends. Kairos' edict slays us all because cousins marry, Antio is born, and our overlords finest waddle into a trap. You're the chosen one, Antio. Kairos chose you to get us all killed. Infinite wisdom, my gangrenous nut. Okay, I kind of enjoy how he trash talks him. Like, all the way to his, you know, he just spun this story about how this guy was born to fail. Like, he actually alludes to his genealogy, which is something that the Disfavored take a lot of pride in, and he's like, oh yeah, you had, you know, this glorious lineage, only to be born an idiot and doom us all. Had we focused our strength into a perfect lunge, we could have crossed the bridge before the enemy knew what was killing them, but it's too late. It's not too late, we can use the Scarlet Furies to... No, you fool, stop suggesting ways to get my gang killed. Are you working for the Oathbreakers? We should wait until the enemy is no longer on high alert. Well, if Antio's plan isn't a good one, what would you suggest instead? There is a time for initiative and a time for patience. We should try a different part in the river, or come back later. The enemy is too wary for us now. Are you in such a rush to see Kairos' edict to come to pass? Sorry, Quip, but I'll strap you to my back and charge down the other bridge alone. But doing nothing is not an option. We can sit here and wait for Kairos' edict to kill us, or we can do something. If this were a hearing of grievances, I'd let you call the shots, but we are talking about the lives of my gang. Conscripts are a copper a dozen, but the Furies, I have worked hard to secure the loyalty of my gang. I will not scrap fine warriors on a buffonish plan. Well, to be honest, the plan isn't that great. It's a repeat of the previous plan, which has already failed. So, how about you just tell me what you would like in exchange for cooperation? Well now, what would make me happy? The chanter taps his chin as he loudly sighs in full contemplation. Oh, I know, Fatebinder. Order Antio here to beg for my help. Make sure he stresses out how incapable he is and how critical it is that my chorus rescues him. I will not stand for such insults. The assault is my command, and I am not about to grovel for your servitude. Well, to be honest, this is ridiculous. Like, first of all, Scarlet Chorus are A, trash, B, insane, and 3, or C, or whatever. This whole bickering, it's unbecoming. Like, you know, Kairos' empire, they like to present themselves as a force of progress. They say, you know, the tiers are that they are barbarians, and we're coming here to civilize them, which is as bad an excuse for a war of conquest as it has ever been in history. But we can't even pretend to be like civilized ourselves. They bicker like children. This is a schoolyard level play. You know, oh, beg me for help. Like, come on, what are you, 12? I'm not going to do it because it's going to just sort of engrave the animosity deeper. There must be another answer. I should have used one of those skill checks. I was hoping that he would have a reasonable demand, like, you know, something that would actually improve our chances rather than something that just allows him to gloat. This bickering is ridiculous. I suppose I'll have to tell the voices of Nerat that his agents were soft and cowardly in face of the opposition. Huh? Do you think your words would change? The chanter smiles wide. I meant to say, perhaps the Fatebinder is right. Antio is in charge. When you next meet with the Archons, you will tell the voices I was instrumental in the success of the crossing. Just like that? The disfavored warrior crumbles his face in his palm. No, wait, I won't question it. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Oh, you had best be thanking me and the Fatebinder. We've saved the disfavored time and time again. What's one more? Listen up. For this to work, my Furies need a moment to get out of cover. Fatebinder, you need to run to the East Bridge. Don't get yourself killed. Just draw their attention. I'll signal my Furies to send a rope across, while you have them occupied. There's no time to waste. Let's hope your gang delivers. Antio turns to you, nodding with a heavy frown. Thank you, Fatebinder, and good hunting. Now, to be honest,
On it.
I kind of don't get how
Sorry, I can't.
I'm still ostensibly fighting for Kairos, despite, like, shouldn't someone have questioned the fact that A, the Oathbreakers all escaped, and B, the unit that was sent to capture them or like kill them mysteriously disappeared from the face of the earth. Like, nobody questioned that. I find that to be a little bit weird.
Interesting.
Okay, that's the broken bridge.
Sorry, I can't.
The Matani River currently... the Matani's river's currents pose little threat to small boats, let alone bridges like this one. The magic that split this bridge must have been quite powerful. Actually, let me save, because the conversation was quite long. If they kill me, which is very much a real possibility, I would like a save.
How'd you take a look at that?
This soldier has had numerous wounds on his body. The cold forms of two elderly villagers lie nearby, two victims that he ultimately could not shield from harm. Chorusmen hunting bow. You have reached the maximum number of camping supplies. Most of the homes on the southern side of the river have been abandoned, much like this one. Few of the Apex citizens believe that raising a blue flag will be respected by Kairos' forces. Well, to be fair, they've already broken one surrender. Careful, the Oathbreakers are due east of our position.
My armor is dented. Let me repair it.
Okay, I walked into it like an absolute idiot.
Don't you die on me! Just point me in the right direction.
I require
You got
needle
it.
and thread.
For the Queen!
I require needle.
Bleed out, you little shit!
Okay, that was all in all pretty dumb of me to just walk into that trap like that. Art of the Blade increases single 100 and 200 melee weapon damage. Okay, I'll take that because it's pretty easy to use because it's passive. It's just a passive damage increase. Wait, can I somehow get up here?
Sorry, I can't.
Doesn't look like it. Okay. So, to be honest, this is a bit ridiculous that I'm just crossing the second bridge and what? Nothing is going to happen? Like, clearly they have to be watching it because this is now the only bridge. The Matani River forms the boundaries of Apex Central Ring. The river narrows considerably at Echocall, making it one of the few access points from the valley's interior. You there, and you! Signaling her warriors to the bridge, a woman in the regalia of the Vendrien Guard captain pierces the commotion with her shrill soprano. Get over here, the Disfavored are back. Guess they forgot a javelin or two. Be a doll, would you? Hurl them back. Florian spoke of you. Said you might be different than the others. Sure hope he's right. We don't keep the Pelox boys around for their brains. Her face becomes stern, almost a scowl, but he swore on his mother that he and his crew were shown mercy, but now I see you with the enemy and... Her words trail into silence. Your heraldry, House Matani? Apologies that your river must be dirtied with this conflict. She lifts an eyebrow. I am honored and will trust that all grievances will wash down the stream. She clears her throat, thrown by your formality. May the river guide you through the valley. Your friends have seemed to have misplaced most of their squad. Guess they are somewhere in my river? She shrugs sarcastically. My family has been protecting this river for 6 generations. It's easy to lose track of all of the looters and vagrants we had to feed to the eels. Unless you want to try running a leap over, you're stuck. Maybe try her heading downstream to Placid Crossing. We have more warriors there, and I'm certain they would be just as happy to The Tidecaster did that? The same one that we meet for a that met me for a truce. Trying to take stock of our crew, she lets out a loud snort, laughing to herself. We have had unexpected help as of late. Kill and rape a realm enough, and everyone comes out of the woodwork to shiv you in the ear. Let us across and we'll grant you mercy. To be honest, aren't they in the position of power here? They seem to be winning, at least as of now. Hold your oars a second. I have a statement prepared for Captain Ari for just this moment. From Captain Ari for just this moment. She reaches into her belt and with an impish smile puts her hand out to reveal nothing but the local gesture for a penis. Well, there's a second missive here somewhere. She feigns scouring her pockets once more before displaying the phallic gesture again. As amusing as I find this soon-to-be corpse, it would appear that our distraction has paid off. He nods off to the west. Satisfied, she turns to leave, calling out to you as she does. I wouldn't keep standing here by Fatebinder. The river's currents are quite unpredictable. Well, let's get out of the bridge then, before they collapse it into the waves or whatever. Okay, but I will talk to them next time because this episode has been long enough. So the pathfinding in this game is really something else. I am going to save here and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.